What I'm going to be doing is showing our relatively new product called the sacral prop. We use this primarily for iliosacral screw fixation. It can also be used for anterior column percutaneous fixation in the pelvis. I'll demonstrate for a minute what has been typically done in order to elevate the patient's sacrum off the bed, so we can direct screws and drills from a posterior to anterior position. The reason that we design these pieces is to have the patient's sacrum come up off of the bed. It's for the supine technique, iliosacral screw fixation. Traditionally, what we did is folded up some sheets, like so, and propped it under the patient's sacrum. One of the challenges is that this technique has often caused the patient to be somewhat floppy because they can rock during the case and change position, and it's typically unstable. Now I'm going to show our new product called the sacral prop. You see, there is somewhat of an elaborate design here, and that is to allow the torso or the flank area to be cradled in this area, with these build-up edges to again support the flank. The prop piece actually details where the sacrum should be. The buttock, and of course this goes in the buttock crease, and there is an indicator here that says proximal and distal. What I'm going to do is slip this under the patient with this orientation, just like I've shown. We're going to lift the patient here, back down, and now the patient is very stable. So even if you're doing manipulations on the pelvis, you can see that the patient is built up very significantly. The buttock is hanging over the side here because we need to get posteriorly, typically at this vector, to get our iliosacral screw fixation. Or the other possibility is for anterior column screws that may go in this direction. Again, the surgeon has to drop their hand with the drill, or also to get from the pubic symphysis up the anterior column. For completeness, I'm actually going to show our entire bone foam line of prop positioners. This is a large, and this is a small, to accommodate the range of patients that we see. This can be used for the petite patient and even for patients up to 225 pounds, typically. Based on the patient's morphology, that could change. This is a much larger one, which we would use for either the very large patient or the obese patient. Basically the same piece and features. But the other thing that's different here is that this is a disposable. So this is the open cell foam, non-coated, and it provides the same buoyancy, the same support. We have found that some surgeons prefer the disposable because they can get bloody and soiled, and these work well for that reason.